Welcome back. What role should men be playing to fight gender-based violence? That was the discussion in Tembisa for over 200 men from different sectors of society. This as we mark the final day of the 16 Days of Activism campaign. Silindelo Masikane is following the story for us. She joins us now live. So, Slee, it must have been a very interesting discussion. Take us through the highlights.
Certainly so, Shahan. Quite a huge day for men in Tembisa as well as surrounding areas where they were called by the Gauteng Community Safety Department to have what we would really call on social media as a men's conference. So men came together to hold each other accountable and to look at ways at which they can be the solution as opposed to the problem. One of the speakers at this particular dialogue was a survivor, Shahan, of gender-based violence, and you can imagine as she was retelling her story, emotions ran high. She spoke about how back in 2018 her then boyfriend shot her in the face. That resulted in the loss of her right eye as well as partial hearing in her left ear, which is where the bullet had actually had gone through. And so you can imagine that that brought up a lot of emotions in the room, as well as really highlighted just how badly the state for women is in this particular country. Let's take a listen.
Okay, it was really hard for me. I don't want to lie, it was really hard for me. I went for therapy many times, but it was not helping because I was still traumatized, so I couldn't. It was not helping at all. After 2 years, that's when I decided that I really need help now. I really need to do this. I'm tired of this trauma because it was haunting me wherever I go. And I decided to seek for help to POA. That's where I got my help.
The Community Safety Department, of course, hosting this event. What are officials saying?
Well, officials are really calling on men to stand up, to speak up, and to ensure that they're not turning a blind eye when it comes to gender-based violence. Also calling on women to not wait until it's too late, to not wait until you're 6 feet under, to really observe those signs, to take notes of those signs, and to get out as quickly as possible. But also saying that there are a number of organizations as well as the department itself that that women who are in distress can go to. Also saying that the legal system, which has of course been highlighted as one of those institutions that continuously lets women down in these cases, there was of course a call for them to step it up and to ensure that police stations as well as the legal system is also a place of safety for women who are experiencing gender-based violence. Let's take a listen to the HOD.
Really hoping that young men will be able to be safety ambassadors. They'll be able to be advocates for gender-based violence in their homes first and in their communities, where they will also begin to educate other men who are not here, to let them know that gender-based violence takes many forms. Men were equally shocked by that harrowing account of the survivor. I even now have goosebumps. I haven't recovered from that. We want men to be our eyes and our ears on the ground. Intimate partner violence happens in the home. SAPS is here. The criminal justice system, the advocate is here from the Department of Justice. We are here at a provincial level. The Community Policing Forum is here. But without the community themselves, there is very little we can really do. So we really need men to begin to speak to each other amongst themselves to raise awareness. The 16 Days campaign is to do just that, to raise awareness and then take that awareness and translate it into action.
Yeah, we've heard from 2 women, but there were 200 men who actually gathered to discuss how they can help in the fight against GBV. What were they saying?
Really quite grateful, I think, for the opportunity to have this dialogue. Many of them, of course, coming with a different understanding around how GBV plays itself out in communities, in their homes, looking out for those signs, discussions around how men should be able to control their anger instead of taking it out on their partners. The men that I spoke today said that they were going to be taking these lessons back into their communities. Let's take a listen.
I must say that there's quite a few things that I'm going to be taking with me. One of them being the key factor that we still need to deal with the causes of GBV as such. Because as we were busy engaging, clearly it appears that there is a lot that still needs to be done, especially in dealing with the causes that lead to GBV.
We learn a lot to manage even the anger, and then to deal at home to control issues of GBV, not to be violent.
If ever you have a problem, just get the way to solve it. Don't ever abuse or do something that you can regret in the future.
All right, we're going to leave it right there. Silindelo Masikane following that story for us.